What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Dominate Every Aspect. And in this week's episode, I wanted to talk about why having a plan is so important, and more so, why sticking to the plan is even more important than actually having one. So a lot of people, go into a prep, go into anything with a plan. And yes, sometimes you do have to change that plan along the way, and that's just a sign, of a smart person. Because obviously, if you fall behind or you need to change something, you need to be able to adapt. But what I'm getting at here is what happened to me this past week, and I think a lot of you guys can learn from this, or hopefully learn from this, I should say. And this last week, what happened to me was I did not see a new low weight. Now, that may be alarming to some. Some people might hack and slash their calories right off the bat because they're like, whoa, I didn't lose my pound to 2 pounds a week. Well, in reality, for me, and what I went into this contest prep doing, was not only taking my low weight into consideration, but my average weight. So this past week, I saw an average loss of 0.9 pounds. That's pretty good in my book. But like I said, I didn't even tie a new low weight. I was off by 0.2 pounds, but overall, my average was down damn near a whole pound. Big win in my book, especially at this stage. So I looked at that and I said, you know what? I'm going to stick to my plan that I've been doing the whole time. I've had this much progress so far with taking my average or a low weight or both into consideration most weeks. Both usually go down. But this time it was only one of them that went down. And visually, and I got a lot of feedback from other people too. They saw my pictures that I put up the other day. They said, damn man, you're definitely looking a lot tighter, definitely looking a little bit crisper. So it was a smart decision, at least I think so, to hold steady. And for you guys, going into a prep, it can be a mind fuck, because if you're like, oh man, I'm X weeks out and I didn't lose this many pounds that I expected to, but your average is down. And that's why I, obviously encourage people to have a coach, to kind of help them through these processes, because it can be very difficult to make the decision on your own. And I sat back for a minute and I was like, wow, that's weird. I saw it coming throughout the week, like still no new low weight, still no new low weight. But then I'm looking, and my average was down from previous weeks. This week I saw a ton of 170s, a ton of 170s. And my average weight was 170.4. I saw like 3 or 4 of those this week. In previous weeks, I had a huge low drop. Maybe some of you guys remember that I lost like 2 pounds in 1 week, and I was like, whoa, that was a little bit much. So on average, I'm starting to notice, more 170s. Maybe this upcoming week, I'm going to start to notice, more 169s. At least that's the plan. But I would encourage you guys not only to take your single day average or single day weight into account, but also your average weekly weight into account when you're contest prepping, especially if you're prepping yourself. It just paints a little bit better picture. I know I've said this before, but I think it's just a really true way to grasp everything. And not only does it help you paint a better picture, but it also helps you make a little bit more informed decision on what's actually going on with your body. And last but not least, I do want to say this just from a pushing standpoint. I made comments before that, yes, this is the time to dig. And usually, somebody might think that, oh man, I need to cut. But I lost a pound, week, and that's really good for my standards. And I would encourage people not to make too hasty of decisions at the tail end of contest prep. Make too big of cuts, because that's when we know, we're more prone to losing muscle mass. So if I were to hack and slash my numbers this week, I'm not saying I'm going to lose a ton of muscle in one week, but over the course of a few weeks, I could easily start, biting into a lot of my lean tissue, more so than I want to. And that's why I'm trying to play it smart. I'm trying to play the long game. As I said in my Wednesday video that I did, my contest season from my first show to my last show is going to be 14 weeks. So I cannot rush this process. I still have to be patient, and I have to stick to my plan. So as always, guys, keep dominating every aspect, and I'll see you next week.
Backseat on the beat. C on the beat.
What?